Welcome back, Hooters, for our series on maze coding challenges. In this video, we're going to talk about Day 1, Challenge 1. And in this challenge, you are asked to do the following. You are asked to draw the square below in a background, place your sprite inside the square, and then code your sprite so that it cannot escape. So let's go into Scratch and get a new program. And let's start by drawing our background. So I'm going to come over here to our Choose a Backdrop option and click on the paintbrush. And it is going to show us our backdrops. I'll just start here on backdrop 1, and I'm going to name it Rectangle, just to help me keep everything nice and organized. Then I'm going to choose my rectangle tool, draw a nice big rectangle. See that center? When I click and hold, sort of a target shows up here. I want to line the two together so that my picture's centered. I want to change my center to no fill, change my outline to solid black, and then let's make our outline a bit bigger, maybe a size 10. That gives us a nice big rectangle. So now that we have our backdrop made with our rectangle, let's move to our sprite. And we're going to start coding its movement. So I'm going to choose the Coding tab. And I'm going to code mine using if-thens. So I'm going to start with an event that says when the green flag is clicked, if, and go to sensing and say the up arrow key is pressed, then go to motion. And since the up arrow key is moving on our y-axis, I'm going to say change y by 10. And to make this quick, I'm just going to right-click and duplicate, put that down below, and say if the down arrow is pressed, change by -10. Okay, so we'll snap these on and press share. When I press the up arrow key, oops, I don't know what I just said. Anyway, when I press the up arrow key, down arrow key, nothing's happening. And that's because we're telling our code to only run this one time. All right, so what we want to do now is we want to go to Control, and we want to put this in a forever loop so that it runs this code over and over and over. And when we hit our green flag, our cat now goes up and down. All right, I'm going to do the same with left and right. I'm going to say when touching the right arrow key, and this time we're dealing on the x-axis. So for motion, I'm going to say change x by 10, and then duplicate this, and say when the left arrow key is pressed, change x by -10. And let's slide this up inside our forever loop, and our green flag, and now our cat can go up, down, left, and right as we choose. The next thing we want to do is we want to tell the cat that when it hits the black line, it can't go any further. So I'm going to pull just one piece of code out so we can look at it closely. If we're telling the cat that when the left arrow key is pressed, we want it to move to the left 10 spaces, if it hits that black line, we want it to go back to the right. We want it to undo its move. So I'm then going to add an if-then inside of here. If, I'm going to say touching the color. I'm going to use my eyedropper down here, which will let me choose the actual color. See, it lets you go through and pick. And we'll choose the actual color of the outline. So if touching black, then I want it to move, change the x-axis the opposite direction, which would be 10. So we're going to change the x by 10. All right. And just to make this quick, I'm going to pull this piece of code out and duplicate it. And I'm going to put it here can change this one by -10. Alright, so if the right arrow is pressed, change x by 10 if touching the black, go by -10. If the left arrow is pressed, change by -10. If touching black, change by 10. And I'm going to put that back in here. Alright, so now I'm going to make the same code for my up and down arrows. So we'll just pull this out real quick and say if touching the color black, using our eyedropper, then move the y-axis, change the y-axis by 10, and we can duplicate this one together, make this one -10. So put that there, and put that there, and if you need to, of course, you can pause the video and take a good look at this. Let's hit our green. Now the cat, as I'm hitting up, isn't going out, hitting left, hitting right, isn't going out, and our cat is trapped inside of our box. This is how you're going to keep the sprite from going through the walls of your maze.